Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video, and I am here again on Crystal Isles, and I have some, well, I'm kind of going around this little region that we're in right now just to show you what this region is, so you can see the Great Valley. If you look on your map, the specific coordinates that I am in, 81.8, 72.3, and I'll kind of keep this out so you can see this where I'm going around. I'm going to show you some really cool base spots, some cool functions about this area. And just in general, some crazy stuff. So I'm going to start off with an amazing base spot that's going to, I mean, a ton of people are going to use this early game. I really hope they do. But to kind of give you an area where we are, 81.6, 72.1, and this is kind of like the jungle-ish region. However, up inside of some of this stuff, you can get some crazy spots. Like right here, amazing little hidden solo base spot. Right down in this region, down in here, you've got some awesome little locations that you can hide in. There's just some really neato spots that you can go to and kind of tuck yourself away so people won't find you if you're a solo player. However, you're not watching because you're a solo player, probably. You're probably looking for some nice base locations in general. And I'll show you a couple of the ones that I've kind of found throughout this area. There's a lot of like little crafty holes for small players on Crystal Isles, which is going to be amazing. You can see this one that I'm in right now. This is like the ultimate rat hole. You have to go up and inside this thing. There are so many little rat holes like this in this jungle region, 80.8, 72.8. And you can literally just like tuck up inside of this thing, which is just crazy in my opinion, because it's very difficult to actually realize that this is here unless you're paying attention, which is pretty cool in my opinion. You know, just to each their own, and you can, well, you can get out of this thing. It's just you gotta find the right way to get down. And maybe I'll be able to get out. Maybe I got stuck. I don't know. We'll see. And am I stuck? I think I got stuck. But you can get up it. So it's an ultimate rat hole, I guess, because you can't even get down if you wanted to. That's pretty funny. Alright, so anyways, I'll go in Ghost just to show you how I got in there again. So literally, right here, 80.8, 72.7. You just go here, and you can quite literally get through all this. And then up and inside of the area. Now this is another spot that I was talking about, or that I've seen before in Crystal Isles. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the walk key so I can actually show you this area. This is, there's a lot of these little hidey holes that you can go inside of, just like this one right here. And again, this is a nice little rat hole. I'll show you it again. This is like a waterfall just filled with tons of little base spots, 80.8, 72.8. And again, just so you can see it, we're going to walk back in here from there. And you have yourself an awesome little small or medium-sized tribe base location. It goes up and into there. You can kind of move around quite a bit in here. You can fit some pretty good-sized tames in this zone. And it's a really kind of nice little spot. And 80.7, 73. So this is, I know you guys are going to be like, oh, get out of this spot. So there's just a ton of base locations right in this little waterfally region, because you can go behind pretty much all of these little things and find some form of little rat hole, just because, like, though it's a beautiful design like this right here, look at this, you can just slide around up in here and no one's ever going to know you're here. You can even like get down in this region right here, and this is an amazing little base spot. As you can see, I'm inside the waterfall, and the only way in is right here, and you just drop down and in. And then you got yourself a little pool of water. You got no way in. Just like that. Boom. You got yourself a beautiful little rat hole back in here. And again, chords for this, 80.1, 72.6. I'm going to stop showing you these because you guys get the point. There are so many little rat holes in this little twisted region right here amongst all these trees. But there are so many awesome base locations. I'll kind of fly up in the air so you can see this region. I don't know, I guess I'm going to call this like the jungle region, if you want to call it that. This just right here is going to have some amazing small and mid-sized tribe bases, just like in these little vines and twirled around, all that kind of stuff. You're going to find some just rat holes that you can't even imagine. But that's going to be a great startup base location. So let's show you some of the bigger ones. And these over here are kind of like the floating islands. I mean, they're literally, some of them are literally floating islands like you see right here, a little more accessible. But there are going to be some big bases that tribe up over here, and because they're like perfectly flat islands that are almost impossible to get to, like this one right here, this is going to be an amazing base spot for somebody. This location is going to be super nice, super flat, nice and far away from anything. That's the closest one over there, and you could easily put some spam down on that. 77.9, 82.4. But I still think I'd rather have this tree. Now let me show you why. First off, it's got some huge layouts over here. You could tuck some stuff away under this, and the entire thing can be platformed, which is really cool. And this tree itself, if you go to the tippy top of this tree, right? This thing right here, you can literally place a cliff platform on top of this tree. Just to show you, yeah, there's the tree. There is nothing nearby that is high enough to even justify being close to this. And yeah, you can quite literally put a platform down as high up as you want. And that'd be pretty hard to raid. There's literally nothing that you can do. You can't, I mean, you'd have to raid from the sky. I genuinely don't know how you would raid this. I mean, other than choosing your way in with a Quetzal. That's an amazing base spot. This tree is going to be super cool for some people that choose to use it, because you can build platforms the entire way up this tree and just have some really neat spots. This tree alone, I don't know, like the Great Tree, I guess. You can just platform the entire thing, have like layers and layers and layers and layers of really cool stuff. So that's, you know, I don't know how you want to use it, but I think that tree right there is just bonkers. I mean, I can zoom out and just show you. These base locations as a whole are just nutso. I mean, this is just a beautiful area that people are going to be able to go. But tons of these little flat structures. I think that you probably want to choose some of the ones that are higher up, because you don't want to be cannoned from above. Even the ones that are further out are pretty acceptable. Lots of flat zones. Even this tree way off to the side. Notice this guy back here. Another one of those great trees in kind of like the jungly regions. But you can build on it. You can see it right there. Just go ahead and drop down a platform. And you are pretty solid. There is literally nothing nearby that people are going to be able to use in order to actually raid you. And they're kind of hidden. So if you're a small tribe and you're trying to hide from some people in these trees, it'll be difficult to find you. Chords of this, just so you can tell, 84.8, 84.9. And this is kind of like that big island down to the lower right corner. Tons of space. Tons and tons of space. This is supposed to be finished when they release the game. So right now you're not seeing any tames and stuff like that. But man, there's going to be some crazy stuff. I think this is where they're going to be the Tropognathus. I think they are going to be in this region, because like lots of air, lots of different levels. And it would make sense to kind of put them over here, in my opinion. Because you got the rock drakes and the wyverns over there. There's kind of nothing here. So I think the Tropognathus are going to go here. But that's my opinion. So, you know, take that for what you will. We're going to keep going around a little bit, and I'll show you guys some of these other tucked away little locations. You can see, like, inside these cliff faces, there are tons of little rat holes. Like, I just accidentally meshed myself. So here's your first mesh hole. I think this is even just a structure that's supposed to be there. Yep, there it is. I was trying to find this one earlier because I had found it accidentally. But anyways, at 69.2, 80.2, there is a false wall, kind of like some of those places on Extinction, and you can literally just go back into this little mini cave. See? Kind of cool. Just to show you, you can literally place foundations back in here. This is our official settings, so this is like doable on official. You could easily hide back in here, because people probably aren't going to accidentally get in here very easily, and if they do, it's going to be, hopefully you've got a couple of tames that'll just, like, you know, shred some people. But oh well, you know, it'll be interesting either way. So this is an awesome base location. I think that some people are going to be pretty stoked to find this, because kind of meshy, but not really, because it's not like you're accessing the mesh anywhere in here. But it's going to be a crazy little rat hole. So anyways, lots of little locations like that. The map is ginormous, so they probably won't be able to finish all these in time anyways. And you'll be able to find some crazy spots like that all over this region. But that little, I mean, this entire wall I have found, there's tons of little mini rat holes where you can kind of like tuck away some stuff, and even have just like a 1x1 back in there if you're a solo player. And that's just, you know, how it works. But anyways, let's keep talking about some of the larger base locations and stuff that you can find on this map, because there is an excess of it. Let's go ahead and fly up so I can kind of show you the entire region here, and you can kind of see it. Like, so we've done the floating islands. We've kind of moved over here. We'll move over there next, but Anyways, you can see that there's like these little caverns, and there's also a whole bunch of water around here, and it's not very deep water. It's just existing. You can kind of go down and into it, but it just exists. There's nothing special about it. You can kind of tuck yourself away a little bit inside of that stuff down there, but lots of resources in this region, and I want you to notice that there's a gotcha. I don't know if they'll keep them, but I mean, there's a gotcha, so take that for what you will. I mean, he's right there. I mean, I have proof. There you go. So, but anyways, gotchas do exist on Crystal Isles. I don't know if they'll take them out or not, but I hope they don't, because I like that they'd be here. So, I mean, we'll keep moving around a little bit. You can see that there's these, like, inside of this giant tree zone, you'll notice there's, like, pillars off to that side over there, but there's also some really thick forests. And in these forests, you've got a ton of resources. This is a jungle zone, so you're going to get, like, Therazinos, Dilophosaurs, stuff like that. There's a gas bag, so the extinction dinosaurs are all over here. But this region, again, as you can tell, pretty nice. The gas bags, gotchas, all that stuff spawns over here in this jungle zone. But let's go over to these like little tall pillars. Now these pillars are pretty awesome. They are going to make some pretty cool base locations for some people because they're pretty spread out. You'd have to kind of watch that tree over there. It's still out of render range for the most part, so you might be okay. But there are quite a few of these tall pillars. I would choose some on this far side over here. Even like this as a whole, like this is going to be a huge alpha spot. There is literally only one maybe way up for a Giga to step up, maybe. And other than that, you can't even get up to this zone. I guess you could maybe get it from here. Probably unlikely. But it's kind of like a plateau with very, very few entrances. Very difficult to get up the side. Hard to drop trikes. This is going to be like a huge player base. Just so you can see, 67.6, 90.3, pretty cool little spot. And again, that's just kind of how it works. This right here, this tree has nothing good about it. I have tried so many times and I was like, oh, maybe I can find a little secret way in over here. Not really. I mean, you can kind of get like a small hidey hole in here, but it's not any better or worse than something else because you could just plop down a boat and raid somebody, even if it's like a super meshed base right there. So take that for what you will. But that kind of leads us to the entire point of this zone. So you've got two styles of bases, ones that are up in the trees and then ones that are kind of like down in these little rat holes. You've got a few of those like alpha plats. Even this one's pretty good right over here. Only a few ways to get in and out, and you've got a huge amount of space. So there's like 2 or 3 major alpha spots. It's not like the floating islands where you've got these huge layout base locations. This is much more of a medium and small size tribe. But if you did have enough people, you could easily do something like take over this entire tree in the base right here. Because there is literally no way up. So you couldn't even soak this base if you wanted to. It is out in the open, so you'd have to get some anti-quets defense going, which is doable. But I mean, you could easily hide some stuff inside this little region as well in the roots of these trees. 73.3, 78.4. And there's lots of stuff like this. So these got some really cool base spots up high in the air. You got some pretty good mesh holes, rat holes down in these like cavern walls. That's just how cavern walls work. And that's not really something Ark can fix, because unless they went through every meticulous little detail and found out where things did or didn't exist, it'd be really hard to actually locate these things. But I don't think it's that big of an issue in my opinion, because most of these spots that are down here, I'm sure somebody's going to find a way to get into the actual mesh from this zone, but you're going to see that a lot of these little locations are pretty easy to get to. Even stuff like this is pretty crazy. Huge flat swaths of land where you've got these like things sticking out. 83.2, 85.6. So some pretty cool base spots over here. I think that it's going to be highly usable, and this region is going to be pretty awesome. So anyways, the jungle base spots and stuff like that, hopefully it helps you out, and make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and teach out.